What's up guys, Streamer here, welcome back to another video. So I literally nearly bit the head off of must have been like 78-year-old Caribbean lady. And I'm taking my break early because I've been working for too long without a break and it makes me really, really annoyed. But just hear me out. It was like, you have an item in your hand and you have a picture of the item. They're exactly the same size, they say exactly the same thing. She kept on asking me, is this it? Again and again and again and again. It's like, is this it? Yes. Is this it? Yes. Is this it? Yes. You're there, point out the similarities in geometry. That all, you know. And it was like, okay, she must have been about 60. She wasn't 78. And literally, just as I was about to walk away, because I had to remove myself from the situation, she stopped. She turned around and she said, "Are you sure this is it?" And I almost turned around and I was like mid-turn. Like halt, like fucking like Jekyll and then Hyde, and then it was like I managed to calm myself down at the last. So crisis averted. Anyway, what's up guys, Streamer, welcome back to another video. I love retail. So do you come out swinging at your life? Do you just sit back and you let life happen to you? Do you get swung at by life? It's currently NoFap day 83, and I've been thinking a lot about a lot of things really, but mainly about music. I'm gonna get into that, but also about how you really fucking need to start coming out swinging with more things in your life, because we don't, as guys, again, I'm just gonna be a guy focused thing, we don't take that many risks, or people in general, we don't take that many risks, especially when we should. If you're watching this and you are either living at home or you don't have to worry about, you know, that much about work or about income, or even if you do, if you haven't got any long-term overheads, you should be taking some risks. Some risks as to starting up new business ventures. Some risks when it comes to challenging your boundaries. Because guess what? If you're the kind of person who's very, very meek, who doesn't, you know, take things to, you know, take what they can, who doesn't ask for what they want, you have nothing to lose. The only way to break out of that conditioning is to come out swinging from the get-go. Now, it was very interesting. I was listening to a podcast, and it was this guy called in, and he was basically just looking for life advice. And he was 23, and he was growing up in a very, very privileged family. They gave him everything, and you know, it was all, you know, very nice. But he was basically saying that he was now terrified of, you know, what the hell is he going to do with his life? He didn't know what he was going to do. He was going to go out into the big wild world. He had no idea, you know, how to find, you know, money. And that's what it does. Like over cushy lifestyles, or lifestyles that are very, very sheltered, where you don't take any risks, you end up not being able to, you end up lost. You have no direction where to take, what to take. The best solution you have for that is just to come out swinging. I mean, if I learned that many years ago, I think my YouTube career and also my other online ventures that I'm doing would have been a lot more successful, for the simple reason that I wouldn't be so in my head about what's the right thing to do. And it's been an absolute trip just seeing, when I actually allow myself to, you know, swing a few times, just how much it hits. Like those little risks that you take, like you know, starting this channel, like doing videos in a certain way, like challenging my own assumptions about what I can do. Like, for example, by smoking, I haven't had a cigarette. I probably should make a video about that, since the beginning of December, and I haven't had any, you know, haven't had any booze since the beginning of December. I haven't had anything for over 2 months now, and I had to challenge my own assumptions. So I said, oh, I can't quit vaping because I'm not ready. Bullshit. Came out swinging, managed to quit vaping. You know, it's like the amount of times, it's like you just look back at it. Anyway, next thing I'm going to talk about is, I was downstairs this morning just preparing for work, and I had on Jazz FM. And it's a very, very popular jazz news radio program here in the UK. I love jazz. And I was noticing that a lot of the lyrics that they were talking about, I think it was a song, my memory's faded, but it was basically talking about how, oh, I can't live without you, oh, you are my sunshine, blah, 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 everything is bleak when you're not here. And it made me really, really pissed off, because there's a lot of songs that we hear, especially in mainstream media. Obviously, I'm just talking about what I hear in the mainstream. Almost all the songs, when it comes to relationship, when a guy sings it, it's always about how you are the love of my life. I would cross the Antarctic to see you, and oh, if only I had you in my arms, and all this other crap. And then whenever you hear about how you know, whenever there's women on and talking, not all the time, it's almost always about female empowerment in some way, shape, or form. It's always about how I can't take your bullshit anymore. Oh, I'm strong, I'm going on without you and stuff like that. And it's this ridiculous parallel. Now, it's all well and good getting romantic. I understand romanticism. I'm not one of those people who's totally dead inside where he doesn't understand that, you know, that there is some element of romance is still there. But this idea of love, and this is a very, very deep topic anyway, but this idea that somehow love is something that, you know, you're hit with, and then you can't get enough of someone, and then it's just like, it's I think a lot of it is actually a psychological disease. Now hear me out. I do think that love exists as an energetic form. I do also think that good and evil do exist, but the idea of obsessive love to the point where you commit suicide if they're not there, and to the point where if she's not there with you, you are depressed. I think a lot of that is neurosis, and I'll tell you why. It's because I used to have really big attachment issues, and this is going to make me and probably everyone listening to it cringe when they hear it. But I used to be so desperate that when I got off the bus, when I must have been about 16, 17, when I got off the bus to see my girlfriend, I jogged. I practically ran. Yeah, feel that cringe. Makes me cringe as well. Now, I was probably one of those people who believed in all of those love songs back then. And I'm not saying that people have to be that desperate then. But as I got over my attachment issues, I realized that it was actually a sign of weakness if you couldn't be on your own for long periods of time without actually, you know, breaking down. You know, funnily enough, it may sound weird, but the idea that you can't, for example, you know, love and appreciate someone without, if they're not there, breaking down into a sea of tears and Netflix and masturbation, then it's like, it's just weird. And you hear a lot of these songs, very, very blue pill songs, and all the lyrics are about how, oh, I can't, if you're not here, if you're not with me, then my life is, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And people have this idea that love is this, when it comes to love, I'm talking about the interpersonal romance, where it's like you fall head over heels to someone and you are obsessed with them and you are thinking about them every single day, and if they're not with you, then you are depressed. That is neurosis. And now there are some occasions where this love does happen between people and it is harmonious, but only when the love is actually returned. When it is not returned, then what you find is that one person spends most of their, sometimes years, you know, sometimes decades, stressing over people. And this is where you read stories of creepy guys or girls just stalking people and going through their trash, and you know, they're always outside their window, you know, and then if they don't get the attention and the approval that they want, they'll throw bricks through it, they'll call the police, and they'll just get, you know, the crazy. That can also be attributed with a lot of this kind of love that they're singing at in a lot of these songs. Then again, I am not against, if you really are infatuated with your partner, sing a song, write lyrics, express how you feel, because this is generally how people feel. I do generally believe that a lot of these things are about, you know, people's feelings. But this idea that, I mean, it's more just the fact that it's being blasted out every single radio station all the time. And I hear a comment that this isn't all the time. I think I did hear a song a few weeks ago that basically was about, bitch, I pay the bills, if you don't like it, get the fuck out, which is quite a good song. But the most majority of them, if you listen to them, especially the mainstream rock, you know, sort of like Bullet for My Valentine, although that's a bit more, it's not so much mainstream now, Kooks, and you know, those sorts of people. And this is why I share my musical knowledge. I'm very much an eclectic person. I like everything. But if you listen to that, what will you hear? You are my life, oh, you are my love. And I think I did listen to a song. It was like jazzy, but it was like basically saying that, oh, I see the warning signs, but it's fine. And obviously I'm not singing along in tune, but I see the warning signs coming, but that's fine because you're my troublemaker. Yeah, you're a troublemaker. You know, you can take me and you can do whatever you want. Oh my God. I mean, the thing is that some of them are really bloody catchy tunes. And then the moment you actually listen to them, guess what happens? You just like, what have I been listening to? It's sort of like, as you've grown up and you've realized that listening to those songs ages ago, you actually listen to it again, and it's like, maybe listening to Coldplay and Bullet for My Valentine all the time. And I used to listen to a lot of Coldplay, not so much Bullet for My Valentine, although I did have a bit of a spat with them when I was a lot younger. But maybe listening to that was not conducive to my teenage mental state. And then you listen to all these songs and you wonder why, especially as a guy, you have trouble asserting yourself around women. Like I had a very interesting shift. Well, another like testosterone shift, and I call it that because I get really not angry, and this is the difference between positive and negative masculinity. But I just look at an aspect of my life and I think, fuck that. I'm just like no, just looking at the shit that I have to put up with. And it's like, why am I doing this? And I'm just looking at looking down on my uniform, and I'm like, why am I wearing this? What am I doing? Why am I dealing with people who want to ask me again and again if what they see is real? And the worst part about it is when they ask you, like, well, are you sure? Like, bitch, I studied for this. Of course I'm damn sure. Why would I sell it to you if I wasn't sure? Sorry. Retail rants. But anyway. Yeah, it's currently day 83. Now, I've noticed that there are still people posting videos and people asking questions about NoFap on my health channel. So I'm going to be posting a bit of a bait and switch video on my health channel. And also, I had a lot of unsubscribers from my Jordan Peterson video, which is hilarious because this happens basically people were watching. A few people watched up until I mentioned Jordan Peterson and made a Jordan Peterson joke about how it's time to piss off some Jordan Peterson fans, and they immediately unsubscribed. I was flabbergasted, and then obviously I was going on to I was actually supportive of the guy, but it just shows you just how fragile some people are, and it goes back to the video. Watch it again if you're interested. Talking about how people, when they don't have role models, they'll hook onto someone. And I'm not talking about the message, but I'm talking about the psychology behind people like that, because I was also the same person. Is that they'll feel personally affronted whenever you even make a joke about someone, because this person who they've latched onto is what maybe it may have been the first real role model that they've ever had, and so they need to protect him almost neurotically. So if you even mildly say something that could be even remotely construed against them, they react negatively and they run because they don't want their belief systems to be shattered. It's no different from the special snowflakes that many of these people like to criticize. And again, I'm a Jordan Peterson fan. I love Jordan Peterson. He's amazing. He's telling me on to so many different things. But it just shows you that the moment you talk about Jordan Peterson and you're not kissing his fucking ass, that people freak out. Not all the time, but still. Anyway, Freeman out, day 84, I think, and peace.